There are moments in every life when the universe leans in close, breathes on your soul, and demands a decision. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. And the decision is simple, brutally simple. Move now or stay stuck forever. It is not complicated. It is not mysterious. It is not something only the gifted understand. It is a law as old as time itself. Action or decay, growth or rot, freedom or chains. The moment you delay, the chains tighten around your mind. The moment you hesitate, the rot creeps deeper into your dreams. Most people think they are standing still, waiting. But you are never standing still. You are either building momentum or losing it. You are either stepping toward your destiny or slipping into regret. There is no middle ground. History does not remember those who waited. It does not carve statues for those who hesitated. It does not sing songs for those who stayed stuck because they needed to feel ready. It remembers the ones who moved when it was terrifying. It remembers the ones who moved when there was no map. It remembers the ones who moved when the whole world told them to sit down and wait. Helen Keller moved without sight, without hearing, without excuse. She carved a life of meaning when most would have accepted a life of limitation. Ernest Shackleton moved across frozen oceans, gambling everything against the unknown, dragging his team through a world no man had ever crossed before. Frederick Douglass moved through the jaws of slavery, through the chains of oppression, into the halls of history, without waiting for a perfect day to act. They didn't have easy starts. They didn't have certainty. They didn't have permission. They moved anyway. And because they moved, the world itself had to move in response. Most people wait for signs, wait for motivation, wait for the perfect alignment of circumstances. And while they wait, their lives are slipping through their fingers like sand. Every day you wait to move, a little more of your potential dies. Every day you hesitate, you lose battles you didn't even know you were fighting. Every day you tell yourself, not yet. You build a life you will one day wish you could escape. Not moving is not neutral. Not moving is a decision to lose. You must stop waiting for clarity. You must stop worshiping certainty. Clarity is a reward for movement. It is not a prerequisite. You don't get clear and then move. You move, and clarity emerges as you carve the path through the fog. You don't find yourself by thinking. You find yourself by building. You don't unlock your potential by wishing. You unlock it by fighting, bleeding, struggling forward when every voice inside you screams to turn back. It will never feel safe to move. It will never feel comfortable to leap. It will never feel easy to begin. And that's exactly why the movers win. Because they act when others hesitate. Because they leap when others look for guarantees. Because they build when others tear down their own dreams before even starting. Look around you. The roads are littered with broken dreams. The graveyards are full of inventions never built, books never written, ideas never launched, missions never fulfilled. Not because the dreamers were unworthy, but because they waited too long. They stayed stuck too long. They negotiated with fear until fear owned them completely. And the saddest part, they thought they had more time. You think you have more time. You think you can circle the runway a little longer. You think you can keep playing small, and somehow life will reward you. But life is merciless to those who wait. Life is a sword that cuts down the hesitant. Life honors the bold, the decisive, the relentless, not the ones who cling to the illusion of someday. Someday is a lie. Someday is a grave dug in soft soil. Someday is a virus that kills more dreams than failure ever could. You think you're being careful? You think you're being smart? But in reality, you are surrendering every day you stay still. You are shrinking into the margins of your own story. The world does not stop spinning because you are scared. Opportunities do not wait in polite lines. They appear. They flash for a moment. And if you do not seize them, they vanish forever. Look at the great builders of history. They seized the moment long before it made sense. Abraham Lincoln ran for office after countless humiliating failures because he knew that motion is greater than reputation. Madam C.J. Walker, born to enslaved parents, built an empire from nothing because she understood that hesitation was a luxury she could not afford. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth while waging invisible battles inside his own mind. Battles he won, not by wishing, but by daily discipline, daily movement, daily conquest of self. They didn't move because it was easy. They moved because it was necessary. And if they hadn't, if they had waited, we would not speak their names today. You are no different. Your story is not carved in stone yet. Your destiny is not locked away in the stars. It is built breath by breath, decision by decision, move by move. And right now, the battlefield is inside you. The war is not outside. Not yet. The first war is against your own fear, your own hesitation, your own comfortable chains. Win that battle, and the world has no choice but to kneel to your will. Action is not something you do after you feel brave. Action creates bravery. Movement is not something you do once you are sure. Movement creates certainty. You are not waiting on a green light from life. You are the light. You are not waiting for the door to open. You are the battering ram. Stop asking for permission to move. Stop waiting for someone to anoint you worthy. Stop hoping the world will someday knock on your door and beg you to succeed. It won't. It owes you nothing. It offers you nothing. It promises you nothing. And that is the most freeing truth you will ever embrace, because it means everything you want is yours to build, and nothing can stop you if you refuse to stop moving. Every master you admire was once a clumsy beginner. Every king you honor once stumbled in silence. Every champion you celebrate once fought invisible battles against the same fear you feel right now. The difference? They moved anyway. They moved broken. They moved scared. They moved doubted. And every step forward, no matter how bloody or awkward, carved a new identity. I am a builder. I am a creator. I am unstoppable. The path is brutal. It is littered with broken spirits and abandoned dreams. You will be tempted to turn back 1,000 times, but you must understand, there is no way back. There never was. The life you had is already dying. The only question is whether you will rise fast enough to birth the new one waiting for you. If you want the life you dream about, the wealth, the mastery, the freedom, you must stop treating movement like an optional extra. It is oxygen. It is survival. It is the blood in the veins of every dream that has ever lived. Without motion, your dream suffocates. Without motion, your future starves. You either feed your destiny through relentless forward movement, or you dig its grave through hesitation. When you move, you give your dream lungs. When you move, you give your destiny legs. When you move, you become the sculptor of the life you know belongs to you. The life you imagine is not a hallucination. It is real. It is already possible. It is already screaming your name, but it cannot come to you. You must go to it, with fire, with scars, with urgency, with bloodied hands if necessary. You must move. You will stumble. You will fail. You will face days when the dream feels further away than when you started. You will face nights when doubt wraps around your mind like a noose, whispering that you were foolish to move, foolish to believe. Good. Because these are the rites of passage every builder must endure. These are the silent battles that forge the unbreakable. These are the invisible fires that purify the soul and burn away the weakness you cannot afford to carry. Pain is not a sign you should quit. It is proof you are in the right arena. Every scar you earn is a medal. Every fall you suffer is a lesson carved into your bones. Every defeat you endure is a silent investment in the empire you are building. The world does not break the brave, it crowns them, but only after they have proven they will not bow to temporary suffering. Only after they have shown they will bleed for their vision. Only after they have earned the right to stand on foundations that shallow souls never even glimpsed. The people who rise are not the ones who move once. They are the ones who keep moving when others have collapsed. They are the ones who build when every voice says to quit. They are the ones who, when abandoned by hope, become their own source of fuel. You cannot quit because you had a bad day. You cannot retreat because the first few miles were uphill. You cannot let the inevitable punches of life convince you to return to the prison of inaction. Movement is the religion of the relentless. It is the prayer of those who refuse to die small. It is the anthem of those who will not apologize for wanting more. You have to understand something sacred. The dream belongs to the last one standing, not the one who started fastest, not the one who looked most talented, not the one who talked the loudest, the one who refuses to stop moving, the one who, when abandoned by comfort, when abandoned by momentum, when abandoned by the world itself, plants their feet deeper and roars back at the storm. I will not be moved. You will bleed, you will suffer, you will doubt. But if you keep moving, if you keep stacking small victories day after brutal day, if you keep breathing life into your dream, even when it seems dead, you will win. It will not be clean. It will not be pretty. It will not be easy. But it will be real, and it will be yours. And no one will be able to take it from you. Because while others hesitated, you attacked. While others waited for permission, you seized the battlefield. While others looked for a shortcut, you marched straight through the storm. And the life you will build, the life that now seems so distant, will one day look inevitable to those who watched you from the sidelines. They will call you lucky. They will call you gifted. They will tell stories about your success as if it were magic. Let them. You will know the truth. You will know every hidden battle you fought. You will know every invisible sacrifice you made. You will know the nights you cried alone and still woke up swinging. And you will know that it all began with one decision: to move. To move now. To move when it was terrifying. To move when you were unsure. To move before you felt ready. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too lost. You are one decision away from a new life. One movement away from unstoppable momentum. The chains around your future are made of hesitation. The keys are forged from action. Move, and the chains shatter. Move, and the gate opens. Move, and the life you were meant to live rushes forward to meet you. No more waiting. No more analyzing. No more begging the world for signs. You are the sign. You are the storm. You are the answer you have been seeking. Move before you feel ready. Move before you are sure. Move before the last embers of your potential flicker and die. Move now or stay stuck forever. The choice is yours and the clock is ticking. There will come a day, and it will come faster than you think, when you look in the mirror and see a different version of yourself staring back. A man forged by fire. A woman carved by motion. Not someone who waited. Not someone who begged for permission. Not someone who hid behind fear and called it caution. But someone who moved when it was brutal. Someone who chose pain over paralysis. Someone who chose growth over comfort. Again and again and again. And in that reflection, you will see the only thing that ever mattered. Not the obstacles, not the critics, not the failures, not even the victories, but the movement. The daily, defiant movement toward a life only you could see. Because life is not built in giant leaps. It is built in small, stubborn, unseen advances. The days you move 1 inch when your soul screams to collapse. The nights you grind when your heart feels hollow. the mornings you rise without energy and still lace up your boots. The world is built by those who move unseen until the day they are undeniable, and that day will come for you, if you refuse to stay stuck. The empire you crave is not waiting for a better version of you. It is waiting for a moving version of you. A version who trusts that progress is born from chaos. A version who trusts that mastery is born from mess. A version who trusts that becoming is born from battle. Your future demands action now, not after you read one more book, not after you gain one more certification, not after you feel magically ready. Now, because time is a brutal creditor, it charges interest you can never repay. And every day you hesitate, the debt of regret grows heavier. You are not running out of opportunities. You are running out of time. You are not being blocked by the world. You are being blocked by the parts of yourself you refuse to confront. Move, and you crush those barriers. Move, and you expose the lies fear has been whispering. Move, and you become a force that even your doubts cannot contain. Think of the people who built timeless legacies. Think of the ones whose names outlive their bodies. They were not superhuman. They were not gods. They were not blessed by some mysterious fate. They were movers, every day through pain, every day through fear, every day through doubt, until one day the world had no choice but to recognize the immovable object they had become. You have that same fire inside you. You have that same defiant blood roaring through your veins, but it is suffocating under the weight of your hesitation. It is rotting under the silence of your inaction. It is not weakness holding you back. It is waiting, and waiting is death wearing a friendly face. There is a window for greatness. It does not stay open forever. It narrows with every excuse you tell yourself. It shrinks with every "I'll start tomorrow." It fades with every nod to fear, disguised as realism. One day that window closes, not because you were unlucky, but because you refused to leap when you had the chance. Right now, at this very moment, your future is dangling in front of you, and it is waiting for one thing. Not perfection, not genius, not luck, motion. Raw, unapologetic, bloody-minded motion. Move now, before the window slams shut. The agony of regret is infinite. It gnaws, it haunts. It mocks you with what could have been, but the pride of action is eternal. It soothes, it strengthens, it builds an unbreakable fortress inside your soul. There are two types of pain waiting for you: the sharp, glorious pain of action, the slow, rotting pain of regret. You will live with one. You will die with one. You will be defined by one. Choose wisely. Choose motion. Your hands were made to build. Your voice was made to call storms into being. Your mind was made to tear through limits. You are a builder of worlds, a bringer of fire, a breaker of chains, but only if you move. No one can do it for you. No one can save you from yourself. No one can carry you across the threshold of your own destiny. This is your sword to swing. This is your battle to fight. This is your war to win. Move when you're tired. Move when you're broken. Move when you're ignored. Move when you're hated. Move when you're doubted. Move now, or stay stuck forever. Because someday is already too late. Because tomorrow is already bleeding away. Because the life you dream about is moving without you. Unless you rise now, unless you move now, the clock does not stop. The storm does not wait. The dream does not linger. Move, move, move. Your life depends on it. Your soul demands it. Your legacy is screaming for it. There will never be a better moment than now. There will never be a safer bridge than the one you build by walking across it. There will never be a brighter light than the one you ignite by choosing motion over fear. Move now, before regret becomes your only companion. Move now, before your dreams suffocate under the weight of what-ifs. Move now, Before the smallness wins, move now and become what you were always meant to be. Move now or stay stuck forever. The choice has always been yours, and it still is.